mean, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so yesterday we went to the club. We were observing it. We sat in the back. Just it was a mistake, on our part because as more people got there, they were sitting more towards the front, and
The conversation was more in the front than in the
yeah,
back.
especially because they were already associated with each other and their friends outside the club.
And they're probably already members of the club that go regularly, whereas
Yeah.
Louise and I weren't.
Yeah, since we were just visiting, we felt very like outsiders, and since they were friends already outside the club, because you could tell the way they interacted, they were able to discuss these things better with each other more so. And even when there was a part where Daryl was with us, and he interacted. He put his 2 cents in the conversation, and all the attention shifted to him for a little bit, and then it went right back to the group, to the friends, and so I think it would be hard for other people to join a club and take part of it just because maybe they're not friends outside the club, or maybe it's this club in general. So
An awareness association, they like every meeting they're like, okay, I'm blah blah blah, I'm the president, this is blah blah blah, and I feel like ASA didn't do that. I mean, it's not that big of a deal because it's like in this situation, having like being the president or whatever doesn't really have anything to do with the actual club because it's not like a power thing. But like whoever, like there was 2 people that were mainly in charge. It was Sambo and the other girl who had the laptop. She never said her name, but they did a really good job at like trying to involve everyone, and like she had like questions and made sure to keep us all on track, which was very good because like it helped us like understand the culture more and kind of like understand everybody else's train of thoughts. And she also was like, every time they would start like ranting about something, she would summarize it afterwards, which kind of like helped with understanding what was going on.
Yeah, definitely. And
yeah, I mean, I don't know if the race, like being a different race, was actually like the issue. I think it's also because we were like thrown in a new environment, so it was harder to talk about something that we didn't understand.
Yeah, so some of the factors that were affecting our participation, I'd say, is one, we weren't really friends with them. So even if someone tried to talk, it sounded like they didn't let them talk, but they would just turn to their friends more and speak with their friends, laugh, joke around, because they were familiar with each other, And number 2 was their race and their ethnicity.
And the fact that they're international students and we're not.
And since it is the African Student Association, they can relate with each other a lot better than if me or Bonnie were trying to interact. So that played a big role in it. But that also makes us wonder, how would it be if we went to Asian Awareness Association or Hispanos Unidos, and how if one of us would interact better at our own club, and how that would affect it, even though we may not be friends with them, but if our ethnicity, if we have something in common, could we relate to them better? So that was something I was wondering about, and how different clubs associate each other with, and how they would accept newcomers, and how the leaders of the multicultural, the person that was in charge of the house that's hosting the clubs, and how they participate, and how they keep everything in a straight line, how they keep everything in order.
Yeah. If from my experience when I was part of the AAA, the people that work in the office aren't really supposed to be like the ones leading anything. They're just there to supervise.
Yeah.
Which keeps everything more on track in a sense, because it's like you don't really want them to have to like say something to Michael, who's in charge, because then your club will get in trouble.
But one thing I'm very interested in finding out is how I mentioned earlier, is like going to different clubs. How would my background affect my participation? So, us being commuters as well, I'm not as close to these people as others, because I'm just here for school and I leave. I don't stay here overnight. So let's say I'm not friends with anybody here, and I go to these clubs, and the only thing I have in common is like Espados Unidos is like my background.
Mhm.
Would that allow me to participate better compared to the other clubs, or would it be the same? Or would it be harder to participate because they already have their own group of friends, they already associate with each other, and this makes me understand why Caucasian or Americans have trouble or not wanting to come here because they think it's only for diverse students, for international students. So that's why nobody comes here that's American or Caucasian or.
I mean, like, in the criteria, like how this club in general and how our experience are impacting me, like, I think it helps me understand like why like Caucasians and like people who aren't really people of color don't come in here as much, because it's like very awkward in a sense unless you know, like, unless you already know someone and unless you're very extroverted, because I'm very introverted and I mean I knew people but I'm not friends with them, so it's just kind of like awkward. But I mean, I do think that I liked it. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
Really educational.
And that's what I liked about it. And that's something that the Multicultural House is very good at, is expressing their thoughts and welcoming people. And but I think the only problem is like we need to be associated more with these people, as friends and as members. It is our first time.
Yeah. So
we'll see how it is at the end of this journey and see how if we make new friends. You know.
Yeah.